Speaking of Russia, Vladimir Putin has ordered new drills. Not your routine ones. This drill involves tactical nuclear weapons. So the stakes are very high. And so are the political implications. The drills are taking place in Russia's southern military district. It shares a border with Ukraine. Yesterday was the first stage of the drill, the preparation. This involves a lot of important steps like loading fake warheads to launch vehicles, driving to the launch site, and also loading missiles on warplanes. Take a look at this. A couple of questions here. One, what are these tactical nukes? And two, why is Russia practicing with them now? There are two types of nuclear weapons, tactical and strategic. Strategic weapons are your big bombs. They can destroy entire cities. But tactical weapons are like mini nukes, powerful but targeted. They cannot wipe out an entire city, but they can cause considerable damage. Most of these tactical weapons were built during the Cold War. Russia is said to have around 2,000 of them, and the US, less than 200. The Americans gradually stopped making tactical nukes, but Russia is still holding on to them. Which brings us to the second question. Why is Moscow holding this drill now? This is what the Defense Ministry is saying, and I'm quoting, to ensure the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the Russian state in response to provocative statements and threats of individual Western officials against the Russian Federation. It's not a surprise. Putin has always timed his nuclear rhetoric. First, in late February 2022, Putin placed his nuclear forces on high alert. This was just after the invasion began, so the idea was to deter any Western intervention. In March 2023, that is last year, he did it again. Putin said he would place nuclear weapons in Belarus. Again, the timing was key. It came just before Ukraine's counteroffensive, and finally, this tactical nuclear drill. Some 3,000 Russian soldiers are part of it. They're mainly using two Russian missiles, Iskander and Kinzhal. Both can carry tactical nuclear warheads. So it's a clear warning to the West. We've heard some escalatory comments from European leaders, especially from France and Britain. President Macron keeps talking about sending troops to Ukraine. He said the same thing earlier this month. The UK too is stepping up the rhetoric. Their foreign secretary made an important statement this month. He said Ukraine can use Western weapons to strike inside Russia. And this is a shift. Because initially, the West only allowed defensive use. But now they say you can attack inside Russia. Plus, you have new weapons coming. The US has finally approved a new military package for Ukraine. It's worth almost $61 billion. Those weapons could hit the battlefield soon, which explains Vladimir Putin's decision. It's very unlikely that he will actually use tactical nukes, but the threat itself is enough. The question is, how will the West respond? They've criticized the nuclear drills, but they're not in the mood to back down. In fact, they have found new ways to fund Ukraine's war. How? By making Russia pay for it. Let me explain how this works. When Putin invaded Ukraine, the G7 froze Russian assets. The G7 is the group of 7 Western economies. They froze Russian assets, like gold and foreign exchange. It was worth almost $300 billion. This is Russian money. Now, these assets are generating money, either through profits or through interest, $300 billion. So the European Union is giving these profits to Ukraine. 90% of it for military aid, 10% for other demands. And how much money would that be? Between $16 and $21 billion by 2027. The first payment is expected by July. Russia is obviously fuming at Europe. A Kremlin spokesperson called it theft.
Even this reduced option is nothing more than expropriation, because all those revenues are revenues from our assets. and transferring them to other purposes is also a violation of all the rules and norms of the international financial economic system.
Hard to argue with that. This money is not Putin's personal wealth. It belongs to the Russian people. So what gives Europe the right to appropriate it? The United Nations has not approved this move. Neither has any global body. It's a unilateral decision by Brussels. So Russia is responding in kind. They have seized assets of two German banks, Deutsche Bank and Commerzbank. Both these moves will undermine trust in the global financial system. It will weaken investor confidence. But Russia and the West don't seem to care about that at the moment. They're going by the old adage, all's fair in war.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.
A first-of-a-kind sports show that's played on a different turf. A first-of-a-kind sports show that will always come up with a winner. Are you looking for perspectives that go beyond the scoreline? Hi, I'm Rupa Ramani, and catch a 360-degree view of the sporting world with me here on Firstpost in our special Firstpost.